What's up, my senors and senoritas? This is Reason from Volife. Today, I am reviewing one of my supporters, Terra Deck. Her name is Pamela Steele. She commented on one of my Terra videos, my favorite Terra cards out the Terra Deck. She commented and said she liked the video and she wanted me to review her Terra Deck. So she sent me her deck. I just opened the boxing. I haven't actually went through the box yet. One thing I can say so far, this is the artwork on the cover. I love the tree. It reminds me of the tree of life, and this woman reminds me of Mother Nature. I love how she's exposed. You can see her breasts, only because I'm like a very artsy type of person. So her being exposed like speaks to how the deck is. And I love how the stars in the background makes it look like it's like space-time or like the universe. And then it has the crystals on the side. It also came with another card. Like, it feels really nice. Like, the packaging was like really awesome. Like, it feels really nice. I really can't wait to see what these cards look like. But yeah, she told me she did the artwork on her cards, and she also wrote a book to go with it, explaining what the cards mean. You know, all cards come with books like that. She had a PDF version that I downloaded to my phone to go along with it. She actually has two decks of these. This is the second edition, which I asked her specifically for the second edition. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through them, tell you guys about the artwork, my favorite cards. I'm actually gonna do a reading in this video. I'm gonna do a reading for my wife. She's been asking me for one. One thing I did when I first got these cards was I slept on them. My first Terra deck that I bought myself, when I used to give myself readings, they never made any sense. They were always off. When I gave somebody else readings, they were always off, never made any sense until I actually slept on them. My mom was like, just sleep on them, you know, get a relationship going with your cards. When you get that relationship going with your cards and whoever you pray to or believe in, it just helps you grow that connection with your cards, and your cards will definitely tell you about yourself. The Terra deck that I use now, you know, before this one, those cards know me like the back of my hand. They will tell me stuff I do not want to hear, and they will tell other people stuff they don't want to hear. I have a candle going, I burn my sage. If I had some incense, I would do that. And I always do a reading when I'm in a good mood. I never do it when I'm feeling bad or mad or sad. I usually have to be really grounded and feeling really good for me to do a reading. That's just me personally. I'm not like an expert reader like the people you see on YouTube. This is just my personal way of how I do readings, and it always works out for me. At the top it says, hold the keys, unlock the mysteries, begin the journey. So I'm actually very excited to see what this deck holds. Thank you, Pamela Steele. I am so excited to see what these cards are about. Deck and looked at the artwork. She's a really good artist. I love her depiction of these cards, because if I didn't know what some of these cards meant, just by looking at them, I can definitely see what the cards mean. So like if I did like maybe a pull a card, and let's say if I put this card right here, the Five of Wands, this card definitely has to do with disagreements and like conflict, because you can see the people, they're fighting with each other. I actually pulled this card when the coronavirus had just hit, maybe a month before all the protests. I really love her depiction of this. One thing I do like about her cards is like they all kind of mirror off of each other. If you were to actually go like her own little universe or see what's going on in her mind, like all of these cards kind of reflect off of a certain world that I really like. Like you know, the people kind of look alike. Like the background and the art, like it's like a whole, like its own little universe that I really like. Like here's another card, the Three of Cups. So like this is definitely a celebration card upwards. Of course, reverse it would mean something totally different, which is like three's a crowd. Some people say this is like a cheating card, you know, especially when you talk about three's a crowd. I mean, you look how they're all having fun, they're all drinking wine. But she is looking at this one a little crazy. Like, why are you here? So if this was reversed, it would mean something like that. Another one, for instance, you can kind of tell what's going on like really easy, is a 10 of cups. Like this one has to do with like relationships and marriage. And another celebration card, you can tell how happy they are. And then when you think of cups and your energy, you can tell like when people say my cup overrunneth, like all the cups are running into each other, like filling each other with basically with love. So this is a really nice card too, actually. A real easy card to decipher. So that's one thing I do like about her cards. Like these are like really easy to decipher. You know, the 8 of Swords, or the nine of Swords, which looks like this person is definitely in despair of their own thoughts. I've definitely been here before. I love the background of it, like how gray it is. It definitely depicts how the lady is feeling. Pentacles, which always has to do with like your career. You can see the 3 of Pentacles. Somebody's working hard at their talents. And I love the fire in the background because I guess it gives more depiction of fire and action. The 8 of Pentacles. This 8 of Pentacles? Yep, somebody's working hard on their Pentacles, trying to get their stuff together. This card puzzles me. In my writer's deck, like that card is like so fearsome and so like just devastating to look at. Like people are scared of like the death card and things like that. But when they see the Tower card, like just looking at the Tower card just looks devastating. This one, I wouldn't say is as devastating, but I do like her depiction of it, like having their dragon on the tower. So like if you were in a tarot, or even if you weren't, you can kind of like just imagine like your tower is your foundation. It's definitely being broke down by something. Now if it was reversed, you probably still wouldn't make any sense of it. As opposed in a certain decks, if you have a card reversed, you can kind of still see the art depicting of what the card really means. This one doesn't, but I still like the card only because I like her certain spin on it. Let's say in a writer's deck, like when a tower is on fire, you can see 2 people jumping out the building. But this one, you know, it has a dragon, which is still cool. I would have liked to see more of the card come out in this one, because this is a very like life-changing card. Like the 8 of Cups, like it really looks like you can tell it's like she made her own universe of cards. Like this is like she really took her time. The artwork is beautiful. I love looking at the people. You can tell she really took her time on these. And I do like the feel of these cards. I like how they feel in my hand. I haven't quite shuffled them yet. I haven't done a reading yet, but I'm going to. I like how big they are and how they feel in my hand. So if you were ever to like keep these on deck or just like use these, I think you'll really be very satisfied by how they feel. Just I guess if you have OCD with certain objects, like to play around with them and like how things feel, these feel awesome. I'm gonna pick my favorite cards out the deck that really stood out to me. The 2 of Cups. It's like this is just like one of my favorite cards in all the decks, all across the decks. And then if you can look at the roots, you can see that it's not really blossomed yet, it's growing. This is another Gemini card, the Lovers. And like I said, like how I like the cover of them. I love how they're exposed because they're open to each other. Even if it's just a reading for yourself, like a Gemini card, or you know, duality, being open to yourself, like both sides of yourself. You know, the shadow and the dark side, which the lady has a dark hair, and the male, he has a light hair. You know, that's yin and yang. Like that's a really nice card. I love what she did with this. Actually, I really love this card. I wasn't expecting to see this card in a deck because like most decks, which are different from each other, they name different cards different things, and some cards you might not find in another deck. I was not expecting to see the cover on an actual card. I've never actually seen this card before in my deck called the Universe. So, which I already talked about. I love how, you know, it looks like the tree of life, and you know the woman is exposed. Reminds me of Mother Nature. And then you have the universe in the background. Like this is probably my favorite card. Maybe It's up there with, I love the Judgment card just because of the fire. I just love the fire and the passion behind this card. Like, this is a really beautiful card. Like, this one kind of illuminates to me. I always love the star card in other decks, but this one's probably my favorite, how she did it, because I haven't seen this before. Her cups are definitely overflowing and pouring into like a pond or a lake. And you see she has an animal in the background and the stars behind her. Like, this is a really nice card. Every time I pull this, I get happy, which I only pull this every so often. But if I were to pull it in this one, just looking at it will make you happy. The High Priestess. This is another one of my favorite cards out of this deck, just because of the artwork. Looking at the moon and the stars in the background, it brings life to this card. Especially when I see the water, and the water makes you think of emotions and things like that. Like, this is a really nice card on how she's holding the moon, which to me, it feels like the moon is exposing the secrets, because the moon card has to do with like secrets and things that are unknown. And when she's holding it like this and everything is illuminated, it makes me think like everything is open to her. Oh, and she has a sword. So when you think about the sword deck too, she's holding that. Like, this has a lot going on in this card that people probably wouldn't even see unless you actually take your time to look. And you know, there's a horse in the background. Actually, a unicorn. This is a really nice card. This is probably my favorite. You'll know there's a reason why I really like that card. I think the High Priestess is probably my favorite card. What I'm gonna do now is I'm going to give a reading to my wife. I'm going to let you know how these cards resonate. Another card I wanted to give an honorable mention to was the Seven of Cups. Because when I saw the Seven of Cups for the first time, I've actually put it in another deck. It creeped me out only because it was a little confusing. When you see all the cups on a different deck, the writer's deck, you see somebody pondering and seeing different cups with different things in them. And it kind of didn't really make sense to me. It actually scared the crap out of me. But seeing this one, if I would have saw this one, it would have made a lot more sense. Because, like I said, one thing I really like about her cards is they're really self-explanatory. Like, they're not that hard to predict. You look at the cups here, like, you see fruit, you see a bird, different things to eat, and stuff like that. Basically, you know, the choices that you want to make. You know, whichever one you want to pick. I think in the writer's deck, one of the cups though, out of the Seven of Cups was something bad. I can't really tell which one in here it could be. You know, even on this one, you know, I see crystals and actually a boat. But I think mostly for the Seven of Cups, it means different options and different opportunities, and whichever cup you do want to pick, they're all filled, which is definitely a good thing. So that's an honorable mention card of one of my favorites. So I gave my wife a reading, and unfortunately the cards didn't resonate with my wife. Which is not discrediting the cards. Like, I still like the cards, like as far as the artwork and everything like that. I tried sleeping on them, you know, I had them hang around the house and get used to our energy and everything like that, but they just didn't resonate with her. I tried to pull a couple cards to myself, and still they kind of didn't really resonate with me. That's not saying like don't go out and get these cards, because like I really love the artwork on here, and that there are cards in here that I haven't seen in any other decks. That gives credit to how different these cards are. So I'm gonna put a link in the description for these cards so you guys can get them. You guys can check out her website and find other things on her website. I'll put a link to her channel as well. So yeah, go out and get these cards if you feeling them. I really appreciate the art, and I appreciate I appreciate you, Pamela Steele, for sending me these cards. I really had a fun time reviewing these and looking at them. Like, I was so excited as soon as they got here. I was excited to give my wife a reading. I'm actually still going to try using these cards. Maybe have them hang around the house and sleep on a couple times, sage them, you know, have them sit in the moonlight. I really want these cards to resonate with me. But with that being said, like I said, the links are in the description. I hope you guys are doing well, staying positive and staying woke. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification button. And adios, amigos. Peace.